we all know that, sugar, caffeine, nicotine, those are kind of the three big ones that people tend to maybe lean into a little bit in recovery. It's, maybe they have the mentality that I am not using drugs, so give me a break. I can't cut everything out, and I get that. I mean, you can't make all the changes at once, so it's important to be realistic. And I'm not suggesting that you go out and enter a triathlon and eat a clean paleo diet the second you give up heroin or pills, but there are some changes. Sugar, for example, what we do know about sugar is that it actually depletes the GI tract. So all of those good bacteria that are in there trying to take care of your body and keep everything healthy and balanced, that gets depleted by sugar. So when you're eating sugar, you're actually setting yourself up for cravings, because your GI tract gets it gets out of balance, and again, your dopamine and your serotonin levels will drop, but also because it creates a kind of an unstable mood. If you've ever had a sugar high, that little kid who on Halloween night who runs around in circles after he's eaten his entire bag of candy. Well, he's on a sugar high, and what happens after the sugar high is a crash. Well, that mimics what we experience in addiction, the highs and lows of using. So if you are consuming a lot of sugar, you are going to be experiencing the very similar highs and lows to your addiction. What I found really interesting is how often there are hidden sugars in our foods. We have to pay special attention to the stuff that we think is healthy. Strawberry yogurt, for example, has 7 teaspoons of sugar, which is quite a bit. I found the most shocking one is Arizona iced tea. The Sun tea, obviously the sweetened version, has 18 teaspoons of sugar. A pint of Ben and Jerry's actually has 21 teaspoons, so almost as much as a whole pint of ice cream. A Nutri-Grain bar, strawberry Nutri-Grain bar, has 3.5 teaspoons. So, these are things that people might pick up thinking that they're eating healthy. It says Nutri-Grain, so people think it's healthy, it's nutritious, it's got grains, it's in the title, right? Nutri-Grain. But unfortunately, it actually is full of sugars. Fruits are full of sugar too, but they're good sugars, and it is about balance, so eating fruits isn't the same as eating a Nutri-Grain bar because it's not refined sugars, but also if you eat fruits, balancing them with vegetables, balancing them with some other nutritious whole foods, that's going to be crucial. One of the biggest culprits too is Starbucks, and not just because of the caffeine, but a Starbucks Grande Vanilla Frappuccino has 32 teaspoons of sugar. So that's a double whammy because it's got 32 teaspoons of sugar and it's also got caffeine. And caffeine is another culprit in recovery that we need to pay attention to. Please don't run and hide right now. I'm not asking you to give up your caffeine. I know that it's a very normal thing for people to want their coffee in the morning for a little pick-me-up. And I want to stress that it's not about giving everything up and changing everything in your life at the same time. I know this sounds like a lot, but it's just being aware that there's a reason we have to pay attention to nutrition. Smelling a rose in early recovery isn't going to be great. It's not going to give you the joy that pills gave you or heroin. It's going to be a learning process. You're going to learn to find those highs. But if you're doing it artificially, through sugar or through caffeine or nicotine for that matter, it will actually slow down your process in recovery because it's replacing one drug for another, as strange as that sounds to think of sugar and caffeine as a drug. But it is, what it's doing is it's creating an artificial sense of dopamine and endorphin rush. So paying attention to those things will also help you to reduce cravings and triggers.